Hi, it's Hazel, and welcome to my channel, Hazel Anaka Design. I'm here today to spend a little time with you as I decorate and stuff pockets in this concertina that I built in another video, or maybe it was two, in which I showed you how I tried to salvage some pockets that I had made a few years ago when I was brand new and didn't know anything about anything. If you missed, I'll link that, those videos, or that video. In case you missed it, I made pockets out of book pages, three pocket thing, using book pages, but I was totally out to lunch on the size. This is 9 by 6, which is like a completed journal size. So any hope of using those as pockets, of course, it disappeared long ago. I had also stitched around. Anyway, long story short, I made a concertina. So I don't think that you have seen it in this stage. So I'll just kind of, as I'm working on it, you'll get to see what I've done. I decided that I want to use up as much stuff as I already have that is perhaps just sitting around beside me, never having been put away. Maybe it's something out of deconstructed books or digitals that I had printed and never used. Oh, where are those, by the way? These little sort of Persian rug type things. Anyway, I probably don't need them. But I've surrounded my, and you can't see all this, and you don't need to see all this. I have all my glue handy. I have a couple of stamps. I especially love this one because it's all numbers and it's so wide. I've got a range of stamp pads here, and I've just re-inked my jet black one. Those are all Rangers archival ink. And a couple of boxes of little itty-bitty things. So let's see what we can get done. It should be obvious that this is kind of a grungy looking thing. If I can be totally honest with you, which is my intention every single video, I don't really care for what I did here. Oh, and I also used a number of stickers. Now, they're fairly shiny, so that might have to be dealt with at some point. This is like a little, it opens at this size, and I just put that paper in there so that whoever ends up with this could name this something. Okay, so you'll notice as I flip through, the unifying or the elements in common are flowers, these little rugs or tapestries, and these guys, these authors' portraits. So let's begin. I'm not adding anything more to this at this moment. Now, so every one of these 7 panels was all constructed the same way. So a solid page, and then on the other side, 2 pockets and a top loading pocket. So there is oodles of space to add to this stuff. Oh, I forgot something really important. I've also decided that it's high time I use some authentic stuff. So I have a bit of a pile going here. So this is just an old invoice book, one of those carbonated things. Not carbonated, carbonized. Carbonated is bubbly, and it's in a bottle. So maybe I should pull out at least one of these. I have this teensy-weensy little book of hymns and so on. So this is a good size. I got, this is a piece of piano paper, and I just folded because, it really wants to curl up. So I have that. I have these bread coupons. And again, let me just tell you, in the beginning, when I didn't have anything like this and saw these, I don't know how many pads there were. Anyway, quite a few of these bread coupons bound in pads. I paid, I'm embarrassed to say, how much money for them. These are all perforated. They're numbered, blah, blah, blah. That was one of those things where I really didn't know what I was doing. I mean, they're beautiful, but really overpaid. This is some kind of novelty stuff. This is a real check from 1942. This was some ledger paper that I just backed. This is a story about, long ago, a story of long ago. So in this story, they're making candles. So I thought, well, candle making back in the day using this method would have been something that, might be of interest to somebody in a grungy type setting, journal like, oh, there they are. This is some of my purple cabbage dyed piano paper. This is Italian, and it is a good 100 years old. Oh, these are the things maybe you've seen that video, maybe you haven't, that I had done the other day. This is a photocopy of, and it's not dated, but it's like this would have been like a grocery store flyer. Oh, a couple of flashcards, some Nabob coupons, milk pog. I think this is from a wallpaper sample book. But it is, I thought the colors might work. And then this wad of papers are just from an auction lot I bought off documents from, I don't know, 1942, 1923, 1936. So it's all kinds of stuff. And there are even some stick pins holding things together. So this is the sort of stuff that I wanted to pull from. So you can see I have far more than I could possibly use and far more than I could ever get to in one single video. So, and talk about another buying mistake. I was so intent on getting some tea cards, and I'd never seen ones with people before. So I guess, maybe it isn't quite as bad as I thought. Some of these are in terrible condition. These are, I guess, Children of the World. Like that one. Why am I even holding on to it? I should throw that away because where would I ever use it? That one also has a crease across her face. So I have these nearby thinking that I should be able to use some of them, whatever, in this thing. Beside me, I also have a number of, maybe you've fallen for that too. I would see somebody on a video using a particular digital, usually their own, and think, oh, I must have that because look how beautiful it is. So I've got things like this that are kind of miniaturized images, I guess, from books. And the color scheme works here. It's time to use these guys up. Okay. So, big pocket. Why don't we put a big piece of paper in there? I should have removed that edge. So let's just, do we want a pink one? Maybe not. Let's fold this yellow thing up from 1926. So it's obviously giving people a place to journal if they want it, as well as a bit of authentic history. Now, Just wondering. I wasn't intending on doing any inking, but, well, maybe it will be clear that there's something in there. You know what? Maybe I should just quickly grab my brush. This is sepia. Let's see how that looks. And of course, it would have been... I always thought it was kind of silly that people expected their audience to watch them ink. But I guess really it's no different than watching us glue. Okay, so let's aim for maybe 1 or 2 things per pocket and see where that takes us. Now, I should point out that, again, flower, textile, sticker on these whole pages. I offset where I put these guys. And here I'm thinking, well, you know, I made this out of book page. What sense does it make to cover it with more book page? So where I could, especially in problem areas like around this gigantic notch, I just left the original book page. Oh, we got a little issue here. You know, because honestly, life is too short for that kind of stuff. I refilled both my glue bottles yesterday. Oh, come on. We're off to a great start. Would you believe that I had 2 1-liter size, whatchamacallit, art glitter glue refill bottles. So I filled this and I combined the other 2 and I got rid of 1 of those bottles. Come on. I think I'm going to have to break down and buy a new tip, you know, the stainless steel little kit for these bottles. And see, I was afraid I was going to bore you with inking. Instead, I can bore you with trying to free up my glue. So, you know, I do every so often, it's not every Friday by any stretch, I do follow up Fridays as a way to show you some of the things that I work on. Ah, finally. When you're not around. And, you know, so I think, you know, this probably falls in that category to some degree. Okay. One thing I did not pull out, but I should, are some actual labels. Again, not actual labels, digitals of actual labels that would be, you know, would probably fit in here too, although this is pretty busy looking. Wherever possible, I try to either leave a little bit of the inked edge or made it such a delineation that people should be able to tell that it's a pocket. But let's maybe throw something in there. Again, the assumption being that people will either use it to decorate with or maybe let's put a higher contrast color in there. Just so that it's visible. Now, obviously, shorter pieces go in shallower pockets, although not too wide. That was about a piece of music. Now, I didn't bother looking at pre-made ephemera to see if something should be included as well. And I guess I could still do that. Oh, the other thing I didn't show you is that I have a number of sentiments. And again, I find this one of the hard, even though I've done a video on how I organize it, I found that this is one of the worst things to deal with. So you can see that I've saved all kinds of things. So hopefully, why didn't I separate the baby ones? So hopefully I can add some of this kind of stuff. And again, this, even though it's kind of shabby and somewhat grungy, I'm thinking that it's also eclectic and that I can throw any color I want at this. So I'm going to just kind of prop that up there and hope that something leaps out at me. Yoy, yoy, yoy. Let's put something else in there. I've got the nabob. Oh, you know what? These might be good if I use this as a... We'll keep that in mind because I don't necessarily want to cover up his name there. Okay, let's just keep going. Let's maybe put this check in there. If I can do it without folding, that would be great. Oh, see, another thing I didn't pull out to use, but could, are postage stamps. Okay, something shallow or short. This is a flash card. And you'll notice that I haven't added any tabs or anything either. Oh, I also wanted to point out that I used up all that wallpaper that I had. I used up some fussy cut flowers. These are those labels I was talking about. And what else? Maybe that's all I can draw your attention to at the moment. Again, I'm not really adding. Maybe I should just break the cycle here and glue something down, because if I just keep hoping for the right spot, it may not happen. And then you'll think, why did you invite us here? We've seen this before. That kind of goes with that. I don't know, I hope you can see something. That, whoops. This kind of goes with this bluey thing here, so why don't we just do that? Somewhere, oh, I don't have enough space here is the long and short of it. But doing these sorts of videos is my attempt to remedy that situation. Okay, breathtaking. Very good. One down and 4 million to go. Okay, we'll leave that for the time being. Let's put in one of these. Oh, and I'm not putting anything in the big pocket. I might, oh, I can use another piece of this vintage paper. 1912. This kind of has some creases in it. Boy, they typed those lines there to the point that it perforated the paper. And this is cool from a couple of standpoints. those are nice deep pockets. I love this tulip. Normally I don't let my guys look outside the picture plane, but hey. Oh, and I did use a scrap of this vintage wallpaper border. So, you know, it wasn't that big a piece, but I used it. So, yay, Hazel. Working life, brothers and sisters, school days, home life, wedding, their home, sweet tidings. Okay, my first school, I guess I could be doing a little sorting as I do this. That's so very white, though. Let me look at what else I have here. Farmhouse family, that's probably a digital. Let's just slap that down. Oh, I should throw a T card in the in one of these shallow pockets. Could have rounded the corners on that. Okay, will this poke out of there? Let's put this kid from Greece there. Oh, and I'm forgetting about these things. Have some random stuff like that here as well. The end. Okay, so I don't have enough in there. Oh, I want to, excuse me, I don't want to forget these. So maybe in the next deep pocket, I'll put some of these pages in, or maybe the whole story. Story of long ago. Yeah, we'll use that all together. What else have I got here? Now I do have this stuff as well that I could use. Millions of them. I think because I have duplicates here, I bet you I, printed it twice. Because, if once is good, then twice must be better. Some sort of stained glass stuff there as well. Pick something greenish here. Again, it's, and maybe I haven't said this for a while, I don't feel the need to back every single piece of paper, because my theory is that if we want to write something at home, like if you want to, scrawl a note to yourself, you don't reach for a backed piece of paper. You pick a piece of paper. It could be a store receipt. It could be a, what did I do with that sepia? Oh, there it is. I'm forgetting to ink these guys here. You don't necessarily, reach for something. You don't back something before you can write on it. So that's my theory, and I'm sticking with it. Maybe, okay, there's nothing in this pocket. Should I try to, if I trim these pages, I can get stick the whole thing in without, where's my paper cutter? Without folding it. I kind of like these little dimply bits here. So maybe I'll just take a hair off. Oh, it has to be more than a hair. Maybe I have to cut that off. Oh well, I'll take about 1/4 of an inch off on either side. You know, I like these cutters where you don't have to replace the blade. You know, like so many of those little cutters that are out there. They're cheaper to begin with, but you spend the rest of your life buying blades, replacement blades. But I must say that this one is beginning to sort of not be so good at this end of the blade. So I don't know what the deal is there. Okay, let's see if we can take a hair off this and still keep those little dimples. Probably not going to work. Probably still be too. Yeah, see how it chews at the end here? That's annoying. But again, it has served me for multiple years already. Okay, let's get this back in order. I think everything else is probably 14. Where's 15? 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21. Okay, hold your breath. It needs another sliver off. I'm going to do it on this edge. Now that well, we'll take off. Anyway, I'm not taking the pages out of order again. Okay, hold your breath. Now that is still a tight squeeze. Come on. Okay, I'm not going to worry about that. Whoever ends up with this can do what they wish with that. Okie dokie. Okay, where were we? I should also remember to use this piece of paper. Again, I'm just going to, of course, you know, every one of those areas where it's slotted is a point of weakness. But even little bits of this paper are beautiful, so not going to worry about that either. I'm still looking for a spot for the milk pog. Won't be here. But since everything is down here, would it make sense to do it up there? I hope there's a better place than that. Okay, back cover. This is slightly too tall, so if I take an inch off this... Oh, you know what I should have done with that book, with that little story, is also around the corners. That helps. That's my little guy. That's my big guy. This is a job for the big guy. We continue to get snow, 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 snow. It's been a bit windy as well. So, oh, that looks kind of nice, just like framing that flower there. That was a happy little accident. Okay, let's look for a word. How about book? I might have to grunge up this white a bit. Just like so. One thing, the brush does not seem to hold as much of the archival ink as it does the Distress oxides and those other pads. Okay, glue this guy down. Oh, you know what? Why couldn't I even not that happy with how this looks. I could even put some of these die cut fragments in some of these pockets. That's weak. This is a bit sturdier paper. Let's put in 2 of these. That looks pretty good. I should, oh, and I've got this Italian paper. And I should also, wait, cover up the glue. Just quickly tear this off. And when the ruler slips, you can pretend that you planned it that way for an even more raggedy look. I can even make this a bit shorter. Yeah, in one of my sales, I included a copy of this just as a little freebie because I was mesmerized by how attractive those prices were. I don't know. I imagine that in every country at this time of year, media is doing sort of year-end roundup stories on prices and how absolutely atrocious they are, particularly for food. So combine that with shrinkflation. Maybe I should find a different pocket because it's covering that up. Combine that with shrinkflation and you really have hardship being experienced by all but the wealthiest. I just used glue stick on these collaged papers, so, you know, sometimes it needs a little help. Okay, let's put it in here where it more likely get noticed. Cool. Okay, what next? Oh, I still haven't used one of these, so, oh, around the corners. Sorry, I should have done some of this maintenance type work or prep work before I turn on the camera. But you know, you can't think of everything. And you'll notice that I haven't added any tabs or ribbons or pulls or anything like that. So, you know, that could still be coming. This is forcing me to get used to the idea of worrying less about matchy. You know, like normally on a page like this, I would have picked something different rather than throwing some blue in there. But hey, it's called growth and evolution. Maybe if I turn this around, the lady will be... Oh, she's still hidden. Okay, I still have that milk thing to use. How does it look here with this guy? That's pretty good. Now for this, we need a big gun. Like, oh, I filled this up, and I also added a couple of pipette full of what do you call it? Acetone, to make it flow better. So hopefully, and I did stir it up a bit with just a little wooden stick. If you add acetone and don't take the time to mix it or sort of let it work its way through, you end up with a really runny, watery type thing. So I hope that doesn't happen, because it sat overnight. Okay, I'm trying to figure out, I want maybe about half of this to have glue on it. Oh, that came out quite nicely. Yay! The video I did yesterday, or did I do two? It was pathetic. Watching and waiting. I don't know why that is not. I'm going to just hold it for a second or two so it grabs. I don't know if sticky, hard to work with glue holds better than the stuff that flows more easily. Yeah, it still hasn't caught exactly, but we'll tuck that in there anyway, because it shouldn't interfere with anything. And we keep going. Oh, by the way, I looked through my fussy cut flowers, and of course I had many of these already done. However, on something like this was still all full of white, you know, the white background. So yeah, I did it. Oh, you know what? This might have been better. Oh, well. What? I mean, this page is pretty bland compared to the others. Let's fold this old paper up. Add it. Where do I want to add it? Oh, did you see what happened? That just tore. So, what am I going to do about it? Maybe I have to put a little patcheruno in. And we can do it like so. And then I'll fold that corner underneath. First aid to the rescue. Oh, you know what? I have a piece of, what do we call it? Gel print that maybe will work somewhere. And, oh, I forgot about these little guys. I have a fascination with keys and locks. And these guys, I think these were little punch outs from some sort of a little pad or something. So I should glue them down before they get ruined. Okay, what am I doing? Oh, I'm gluing this. So maybe in the comments, tell me if your desk is a disaster zone when you are in the thick of a project. Okay, I need to probably cut, just like you would if you were sewing, you need to cut notches so that the paper will fold. Because of course, we're trying to repair that little tear underneath. Okay, yeah, is your place, is your work surface just a disaster? Or are you one of those who sort of cleans as you go and can't stand disarray? You would have, pre-selected all your materials, know exactly what you're using. This is also a lovely digital thing that, keep that in mind. Okay, let's add this bit of, this punches out too. Where's my pokey thing? Another thing that I did last night after my, whoops, my lazy Susan is locked and not turning. Another thing I did after the heart-to-heart with Barbie daily is I did some collage paper making, because I'm doing the Catherine Rains thing. Now I lost a key already. Oh, there it is. Catherine Rains thing. And, it's amazing to me how, well, it's a lot of fun doing making those papers. But honestly, it is kind of like that. It is, well, you get caught up in it and carried away, for one thing. And then sometimes they're pretty attractive and other times downright ugly. So, I've been forgetting to stamp. I'll have to go back and stamp stuff with those numbers. Okay, let's glue this guy down. And then maybe I'll throw those keys on top of it. Yeah, let's just do this up here. Not sure why I chose that spot, but it will do. Okay, again, where are the keys? It's like losing real life keys. It was so funny yesterday in the chat. I think it might have been Dawn from Scrapbook Sage. Well, maybe I'm mistaken about that. Somebody in the chat talked about, because we're talking about introversion and online, friends and support and so on, versus real life. And she talked about, whoever the person was, talked about 3D friends. I thought that was hilarious. Oh, I see. These are two sets of the same sorts of keys. So let's, but is it showing up enough? Let's do it. 3D friends. I laughed. Yeah, it's, I hope that at some point I get my space here, but it's probably not going to happen, where I can sort of have art supplies, art stuff spread out and ready to use at a moment's notice, and not have to do everything in this one small space on my desk. I do have a standing desk, and one of those adjustable things that Costco used to sell. Maybe they still do. But the way I have my sewing machine on it, and it's tucked in a nook, or it's right under the window, one of the windows, and it, because of the stuff, there's like an office piece of furniture beside it that I have all my sewing things stored on. It no longer can go up and down, which is, fine, I guess. But, so we need something here. But it is, how about a blue piece of paper? Let's take this bundle apart. Look at that, it's got this seal on it too. Yeah, this looks pretty fragile, and it's so nice. What year? 1913. Oh, and I don't know whether you noticed, where I had 3 of something, I would just use it as, again, a way of connecting the whole page and hopefully delineating the pockets. I don't know if this is done, but this might be a good place, but it's going to be lumpy. Let's stamp a number. I re-inked this morning, so let's see what we get. How about a scrap piece of paper to try it on? Not exactly the juiciest thing I've ever seen. Maybe I didn't put enough. I just didn't want it to be all oozy and gooey. Well, there must have been a shallow, there must have been a dip there. Oh well, that adds authenticity. That's what I'm telling myself. Let's see if we need to go back and do this elsewhere. I hope you can see something. Not working as well as I'd hoped, but again, I guess I shouldn't be surprised when everything here is so lumpy. It would have been smarter to do this before I started filling. Oh, that was better. Before I started filling everything. So we'll keep that in mind and hopefully add it in a couple more places. Oh. That was almost catastrophic. I also bought a number of these Blue Ribbon and Nabob coupons at auction. And a selection of things like the bread coupons, the Nabob things, those are all in an ephemera, starter ephemera pack that don't you love this? That I put together. Okay. It almost seems like something red would be good up there, but I don't have anything red, I don't think. Do I want to add this here because it's so purty? Yeah, let's do that at the edge of the connecting line there. Again, I didn't go through every drawer and bin and whatnot to see what other good stuff I have that I should be using. It was kind of, you know, again, sort of that arm's length art. I do have an assortment of flashcards here, but I've already used a couple out of there, so we don't want to go overboard with any particular thing. Okay. Here again, initially I had that little, I don't know if it was even 10-inch piece. Oh, I should add a word. Organized mind. Promote your dreams. Work wisely. Beautiful you. That doesn't seem right for that old guy. Anyway, so I thought, oh, I'm going to put one of those on each page with one of the men. I could just do the book. The teapot, the old woman's flower garden, princess, snowman, toad, nightingale, shadow, collar. These are getting too big. Those maybe have possibilities. Yeah, so I had that itty bitty piece of that paper and I ripped it into 7 pieces. You know, each kid needs to get its share. Okay, we can just do the book. The book. Again, very white. Let's knock this back a bit. And I am mixing my browns here. I guess I could also see what the what is it, coffee? And I also have plum pulled out, shadow gray, coffee, Pebble Beach. Pebble Beach is really quite light. This is a good one. How long has it been? Okay, so that is Pebble. No, that's coffee. Let's see what Pebble Beach looks like, although my brush is obviously dirty. Man, sometimes it's like pulling teeth to get some color out of these. And of course, the fact that I creased it just makes that look even more authentic. Okay, what did I say? The book. Oh, and I better remember to use that too. And again, by, you know, having an element, particular element repeat, it's like, oh yeah, there was a plan. There was a plan. Is that straight? Yes, sirree. How long has it been? Where I've had to glue things over these fabric tabs, you know, that was a little trickier, but you know all that, and you pick your glue accordingly, or you just take the extra time to make sure it has seated itself. Okay, jet black. Where is jet black? Somehow it got to number 4 position. Yay. Now I could, why don't I just switch up the numbers? And it's so nice. Let's not have all 7s. It is so nice when these things are still pliable enough that they, don't crumble when you try to move them. Seem to have quite a few 8s going on here. Don't think I have them perfectly lined up, but that's okay too. Whoopsie. This will be lopsided. Okay, whoops. Almost dropped that face down on the paper. Okay, I need a big something there. What else is in this bundle? Oh, here's something that looks pretty cool. Maybe I could clip this back together. Let's do a couple of these things. Let's do 3 of these things with that stick pin. Now I'm going to, whoopsie, let's do this. Hopefully without tearing it this time. I guess that was the downfall of not gluing a top paper on that. That remains a bit weaker. Okay, so we need some elements here. I can't remember. Oh, I've got this piano paper. Maybe it's time for another. I can't remember if I used this. So cute. So darn cute. Look, it's the size of my hand. Okay, oh, here was, had this forever. It's from a business in a town near Edmonton. We haven't used many of these things, so let's try to find something. Oh, that's a skull. Actually, some of those could have been tabs on these papers. Oh, look at those cute little birds. Those are kittens. So we want some. I'm making a video. So let's pick some of the bigger ones that are maybe a little more heavily printed. And actually, things like this, printed on cardstock, they could also go in. Mind you, it almost falls in there, so what do I have in this thing here? I've been hanging on to this forever. It was part of a box, but it would be lost in there. I might need this on a page where I need a touch of red. Got a few red elements there. Oh, here's some. Oh, you know what this is? I thrifted this or got it in, I don't even remember where, a long time ago. And apparently it comes in a spool. And apparently this was like, we're going to use it. It would have been like for those, oh, what are they called? You know, with parades, not a ticker tape parade, but the word is escaping me. Okay, I guess I could work some red in here because of the red in the tulips. Let's glue this down. When you think about how many potential items we have for, oh, and I still have those keys to use, for decorating, punch-outs from little pads, teensy, papers of every size from the dollar store 3x3s to 12x12s, and stickers and fussy cuts. Like, it's just mind-boggling. Do I want another red element here? Yeah, I don't know if I really intended it to be on this page, but what the heck? What the heck? And it just proves yet again that I spend a lot of time considering what to do when I'm collaging. And then some of those best elements are covered. Oh, and I also have these guys. Some of them are just, a regular paperweight. So where's my pokey thing? Oh, brother, that doesn't want to come out easily. I should have just repunched the hole. Okay, so we've got that. And we've got that. This would be a good green to use in a gardening journal because it's like that new growth color. Oh, see, I could even use these. See, I've peeled down a chipboard piece to make it more usable. Let's see if we can work this green in somewhere. Okay. Onward. Okay, so there we are back at the cover. Should I glue these keys down here? Yeah, let's do it. Oops. Okay, we'll put the gray one down, or the silver one down first, and then this little guy. And I'm sort of layering them as though it was a, what you may call it, like on a key ring. Now this is the back cover, so it will be subjected to a little more wear and tear. Oh. Did we get all the way through? Oh, I didn't put anything in here. I just have, how about a piece of really nice old book paper? Maybe one with an area for writing on it, possible. And if not, then just use what we have. Oh, I tore that crooked. This, you can see, is a point of weakness, so I should probably be proactive and put something there. One of these little, we're going to call these Band-Aids. Yeah, that will help, I think. So on this second pass through, I'm going to be looking for a place to use that lime green stuff. What was that? I think that was the cover from my glue stick that hit the floor. And of course I can't see it. How many bounces are there in a glue cover? Darn it. Okay, well, I better hustle. And maybe I should put something there as well. Just that itty bitty thing. Let's not put it upside down if we can help it. That is beautiful. And of course it was miniaturized by whoever made the digital into these little label type sizes. And any of us who have been lucky enough to have a, old books to take apart, we know how much more, how much more decorative things were back in the day. Okay, lime green. I've got this lonely sunflower here. This brings out the brown in that. So does this. I could just layer these as a decorative element, or I could put one here. You probably can't see that. Honestly, what a mess. But I have more. I picked out these words. Remember, remember, remember. This guy will probably get a sentiment right away. Okay, we're looking at these green things. If I put it like so, that could be a journaling spot. And in fact, if I wanted to disguise the fact, why am I letting this glue, or not glue, ink take up all this space? If I wanted to disguise the fact that this is a tag, I could just do something like that over it. Let's use those first two that I grabbed. Again, I hope that... Sorry, I'm just trying to spot that glue stick cover because, of course, We know it doesn't take long for you know, glue to start drying. Oh, and I also wasn't stamping any numbers on these first pages that we did. So I need to add some more numbers. And I have to say, I am pleasantly surprised. Mind you, I haven't checked. Maybe before I pat myself on the back, I should see, does this still close quite nicely? And look how beautiful it would be standing up. Okay, I said I would make this guy the shadow. Just going to take a smidge more off this at the bottom. I'm going to use my dirty brush. Looks like I might have to load it, or maybe. The nice thing about these particular chapter headings is the fact that it was gold lettering. Okay. Or do we need this more up here? Or do we need it like so? Let's put it right at the top. Oh, I do want to stamp a number or two. I think I wiped some of that ink off. Okie dokie. Stamp, stamp, stamp. That really didn't work very well. Let's do it again over here. And hopefully this is, you know what would have helped if I would have put something rigid underneath these pages, but too little too late. Yeah, a broken up number actually looks better, I would say. I remember once I went to a sort of a drop-in card making class. Oh, this is lovely. Gotta try to use that. And that was back in the day when precision stamping was, if you couldn't do it, you were a loser. Loser. And of course, it was so difficult. So difficult. Okay, what do we have here? Together, tiny tot. But I definitely want to use this somewhere. Okay. Maybe I should use my small stamp. What was a very good year? 2018? What's the oldest date on here? 2010, 2009. Oh, yeah. Look how cute. Look how cute. And of course, I do have all the other office stamps. Copied, private, confidential. All of those things. Okay, now that some of these pockets are loaded, it becomes less obvious what the page itself might need. What do I have here? Maybe I want to. Let's pull this out for a second. And let's put this little thing on the other pocket. Or I could do it up here and use this over here. Oh, now we're cooking with gas. That's a different design, but that could still work too, I guess. And there's this one. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, glue stick. And again, I'm not worrying about tabs or, you know, strings, or I don't like covering. Or no, we can't. I was going to say let's not cover up that 99, but I think there's no alternative. And glue this down. Geez, my glue paper needs replaced. I've got nowhere to work here. But once I finish this, and I should be checking the time because who knows, maybe I can't finish this with you. Once I finish this, I can, you know, probably put these things away for the duration, or use them in a masterboard. I've been doing a fair bit of that lately too. I will remind you that last year, well, not last year, this year, 2025, let me just have one quick look for that glue stick cup. Probably bounced under my desk, and that's where I need a flashlight and be on my hands and knees, so that's not happening now. Is this page? It almost seems like we need some yellow over here, so maybe it's time for something like this. Not the same yellow, but okay, we also have this. Believe in your success. This came out of a feng shui book. So I'm just tearing that. Oh, I could save the prosperity part, because Lord knows I don't have enough words. That was a sarcasm. Okay. Believe in your success. We'll get rid of that. And we'll get rid of that. We keep that. I guess I could cover up that guy's name. Like, let's face it. Who is Charles Roberts? And if I do it a little bit, well, let's just do it. Stop talking about it, just do it. And I'm going to have a look at the time. See how long we've been here. Oh dear, it's over an hour. Okay, I'm going to stop right in mid-word. Okay, I'm going to stop and look for my glue stick. I hope that you have benefited in some way from this. I'm going to give it another quick once-over to see what more I can do. because, oops. Anyway, stop. Okay, guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate your presence. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, your comments, and the fact that you continue to seek out my videos and resonate with whatever it is that I'm offering. So that truly warms my heart. Don't say it often enough, but it is the truth. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.